On that note, I want to bring in a co-founder of Nexo, Antoni Trenchev. Sorry about that, Antoni. After shedding $2 trillion in value, right, this crypto winter, we're thawing out a little bit, but listen, you had recently likened it to what happened in the panic of 1907, or I think you want to see a resolution like that. I thought it was an interesting comparison. Explain it to the audience.
It is very similar to the 1907 bank panic because we didn't have back then, and we don't have now in crypto, a Federal Reserve, a lender of last resort to bail out all those companies that are in trouble. And now that the proverbial tide has gone away, we have been seeing people and companies swimming naked, taking on heavy leverage. And, you know, with the decline of Bitcoin, some of them are on trouble, and it is now up to us, lacking a Federal Reserve, to figure this out, and this will be done by the likes of FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried and companies such as Nexo, which are in strong financial positions to help clean up this mess.
So, and to that point, though, there's still a lot of open issues. The Luna's mess is still out there. Celsius is still unresolved. How important is it to get these things resolved in the absence of any sort of federal intervention? Because I don't see that coming. What should be done to make sure these things don't happen again?
Yeah, it's very important for us to sort this out, you know, for the betterment of the entire place. At the same time, I think it is great that we as an industry are allowed to fail, you know, startups fail, because this is what keeps innovation going, and that's why it's the most booming and most innovative
with all due respect,
space.
though, it's one thing to fail, it's another thing if it's dubious, right? I mean, some folks are concerned about some things that were offered out there, interest rates, some of the other things that have happened. I mean, should a company be able to call itself a stable coin when it's not stable? You know, so what do you do about those aspects of this story?
Well, two things. We should work on disclosure so people that actually know what they're getting themselves into, and then sustainability of the business models. You know, without Nexo, we never got caught up in uncollateralized, unsecured lending to dubious prop trading shops somewhere in Southeast Asia out of a basement. And this was happening in the industry, and it's now unraveling. So we got to figure out how to ensure the sustainable business models, all the more given now that you know, the macroeconomic environment is changing from easing to tightening, so it's a very new paradigm, right, and we all have to make adjustments here.
By the way, I know your company was under some sort of Twitter assault, or there was a smear campaign. Is that all resolved?
Charles, this was ridiculous, blatant lies throughout, and the very notion that a company, even after the crash in crypto, this huge correction, still manages $5 billion, has distributed more than $100 million to its community via dividends and buybacks of our own token, would resort to petty theft. It's just mind-boggling and plain ridiculous.
Before I let you go, are you seeing any changing patterns amongst crypto traders? You know, my guest before you, she said she would be a buyer of Bitcoin under 10,000. Obviously, someone stepped up because they put the brakes on the slide.
Yeah, I mean, like, it could get worse before it gets better. I think everything that has been priced in as negative news is out there. So I think we found at least an intermediate bottom here, and my preferred scenario would be a rally towards 30,000 from here.
Antoni, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, folks, still to come.
Thank you, Charles.